for public comment. This is a section where if anybody wants to get up and speak about something that's not on the agenda, this is the time to do that. We can't actually take any action on it because it's not an agenda item, but we have one of these at the beginning of every meeting. Would anyone like to address the council? Okay. Next on the agenda is recognition. I'm going to turn this over to Joe DiPasquale, who I believe was in all of these events from the beginning, correct?
Yes, it wasn't too pretty, but I was. Good evening, everyone. So, unfortunately, we just had the 15th final finish for a Guinness. And this was an incredible event for those of you who don't know. 750 runners usually came into town on Labor Day weekend, and we ran and we had a party, but it was for a somber reason. It was to support the ALS Foundation. And Warren has a small population, under 11,000 people, and yet we've lost, I don't know the number, but I know the dear friends that I have, that we've shared, that we've lost. So unfortunately, this was one of those great events for a sad situation. But the Key family made this one of the look forward to events. I've been to road races all over the state, and none of them compare to the hospitality that was shown, the festive nature, the fun, the camaraderie, and the good weather. Usually it's always nice weather. And for that, I would like the town of Warren to recognize the Key family, especially the Key sisters here. And we have Amy and Holly and Shannon and Tara and Aaron. Did I say Aaron? And wait.
That's it. That's all of them.
So without further ado, I'd like to recognize in the town of Warren would like to recognize for your 15 years of hard work, dedication, and generosity to the Christopher Stone Foundation Finish for a Guinness Road Race. Is hereby awarded this certificate of recognition with honor from the Warren Town Council, presented this 10th day of October, 2023. So ladies, if you could come up. And Tara, if you could, I'm sure, but I'm putting you on the spot also. Could you tell us how much money you raised for such a great cause?
So over the course of 15 years, we started with about 183 runners the first year. And this year we registered 1,300 people to run in the race. We raised over $500,000 and donated it to ALS, Compassionate Care ALS in Massachusetts, who actually helped my sister out greatly, and the Swift family as well. And then we also have donated to other families in need in town throughout the years. So it was one of the best days of the year for us, for lots of people, and they wanted us to do it again. But I think 15 years is a good run. I think we have done our time. We set out to make a bad situation good, which I think we did. And thank you.
And Senator Felag is here, and he has
Another one of our annual sponsors.
yes, greetings from the Senate and the House.
Thank you very much. I'm here on behalf of Representative June Speakman and Jason Knight, who unfortunately could not be here. Well, when we saw this on the agenda for tonight's meeting, we said it would be apropos for the Senate and the House to issue citations to each of these fine young ladies for their, what I call outstanding volunteerism, because they basically put Warren on the map for road racing. As Joe mentioned, when you look at a road race, you look at a course layout, You look out how many volunteers they have. You want to make sure that the runners are making sure they're on the right course and don't take a right turn when they should have took a left turn. And they were able to get volunteers from the Mount Hope football team and other volunteers on a year-by-year basis to ensure that this was going to be an outstanding event. In the end, everyone says it has the best hospitality known to man, especially when you have to finish for a Guinness. So it was a good theme to it. So we want to acknowledge that outstanding achievement by providing each one of the young ladies with a House and a Senate citation. So we have Tara.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there were probably 500 other people that helped, but thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda will be interviews. We have an open position for the Conservation Commission, but we have no applicants. The next is the Rhode Island 250th Commission, 11 positions available. It's a 13-member board, and we have 3 applicants. First one is Donna Raza. Is Donna here? Please come down.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi.
Just give us a quick rundown of why you're looking to serve on the committee.
So I've been on the recreation board for I don't know how long, maybe 20 years now. And I was at a meeting and I heard about this commission. So I went on the town website and researched it. And it intrigued me. I felt it's a good match for my skills. I also love history. I remember, back in 1976, I was a teenager. And I think Warren could do so much to commemorate, make this a great event. And I work in a nonprofit with young children and families, and I'd love to get them involved in doing something to commemorate this event.
Great. Questions from the council? Well, we can do these one at a time, or you want to do them all at the end, or how do you want to do this?
No motion to approve.
Okay, second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Next, we have Chris Lynn Matos. Please come forward.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. I'm the director of the George Hale Library, so I've been thinking that participating in this would be a benefit for the library to be involved. We have a lot of history over there, and we're involved in historic Warren as well with Sarah Weed, so we collaborate on all fronts, so.
It's a great fit.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in
Good to
favor?
see you again.
Aye. And third, we have Sarah Weed. Sarah, please come up.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello,
How are you?
I assume you have the same question.
Correct.
Well, I did serve on the Publications Committee way back for Warren 250. So I figured I'd go up to the next level. And since this will be a nationwide celebration. I'm also part of the Warren Preservation Society, so I'd be representing them in the group. And I've also had experience on many boards before, including the Honor Roll Commission.
Great.
You were our librarian back when you served that. position
Yes.
as well, weren't you?
For 10 years in the 90s.
Yeah, so motion to approve.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, but can I just make a little comment?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I just hope that we can get some clarity on whether this is a commission or a committee. because commissions have to go through the whole ethics procedure and they're for a very long term, like the Conservation Commission. And it seems to me that this is more like an ad hoc committee that would be like the Indian Studies Committee.
I'm gonna defer to the solicitor.
Oh, good.
This will not be considered a public body under the Open Meetings Act. Title 45, Chapter 46, Section 1. Here's why. You're gonna be advisory. You're gonna meet intermittently for a brief period in terms of history.
Right. Great, great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Take care.
Okay, next we have the acceptance of minutes. We have the first one, September 12th, regular scheduled meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor. Next, we have the September 27th regularly scheduled meeting. Actually, these both weren't regularly scheduled.
No.
The 27th was a special meeting, but yeah,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. And then we have the September 27th executive session minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to seal them. And please pass them down. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have P1 and P2. Does anybody want to pull either one of those? I know last month we had P1 on the docket. It was for Life Inc. And the question was regarding out of town commercial trash. I believe the director was going to look into that and give us a little bit of info on it.
I spoke to Life Inc. They manage some properties in town. Right now, they have one property in town that they manage. It's off of Main Street. They're well aware that they're only allowed to take trash generated in the town of Warren to the transfer station. They're just looking for when they have these properties that they come up, that they can have somewhere to dump it. I believe they were a nonprofit. I'm not 100% positive on that, but we have other we have other members that have a commercial permit now that own property in town. So I think it's fitting. It's just, they know all the rules and I have the addresses already. So.
Okay. Any questions from the council?
No, that's a good clarity.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Joe, can you just put in that motion just to reinforce that it only be from properties in the town of Warren?
So done.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, and then that leaves us P2, which the only item left on the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on that? It's for a vitrilling license or a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, yes. So next we are back to 01, an ordinance regarding alcoholic beverages, taverns and vitrilling licenses is to increase the number from 30 to 31. Yes.
May I suggest that O1, PH1, P3 and P4 be combined
Absolutely.
because they all deal with the same subject.
Okay, and under that thing, we have a Class BV beverage license from Sylvia Hospitality LLC, Stephen and Kathleen Silva. Please come forward. So they're looking for a BV license, a vitrilling license, and a yearly entertainment license.
Evening.
Hello, welcome back.
Good evening. Good having us.
So just give us, even for the people that don't remember, I think you were here last month, right? Yeah, just give us a quick rundown to refresh everybody's memory.
We're thrilled to be becoming part of the Warren community. We are currently leasing and actively planning to open a new restaurant in what was formerly the Chomp Restaurant on Child Street. We're going to be opening under the Love Shack Live Fire Grill. It's going to be a casual, lively, fun atmosphere featuring fun apps, salad, sandwiches, grilled proteins with a focus on light barbecue. And we're here following up from our previous meeting to about getting those appropriate licenses for entertainment and our policies.
Thank you. Any questions from the council?
Provided everything passes this evening, when do you think it'll be ready to open?
We're looking to soft launch, so we'll do a series of soft launches probably sometime early to November, and then would expect to open shortly thereafter, sometime at the end of November into December.
And then how much build out and alteration will you do to the space?
Very minimal. Right now, we're doing some interior decorating and design to really brand the space and make it our own. We've added some front landscaping to create a barrier in between the current street and the exterior patio for seating. But beyond that, we're doing very little construction.
And you've gone through the process of getting your signage approved?
We're working through that process currently.
Is the seating essentially the same, or is that something you see? Seating is essentially the same.
Seating is essentially the
What-
same as
When it was chopped, I mean, not that it.
correct.
But just so point of reference, thank you.
Ben, are they currently before zoning for their signage?
No, I think the application's in the works now, but they have not been brought zoning yet.
Good, thank you. And they didn't have to do anything site plan wise, Matt, they didn't have to do anything site plan wise, change. Yeah, great. Thanks, good luck, guys.
I'm gonna segue to the entertainment license.
Okay, so, Anthony, because this is a public hearing, should we deal with this one first and close it out and then vote on this and then deal with the other ones, or?
Actually, it's appropriate to take up all the issues.
Okay.
during the Public hearing, entertainment and visual.
Okay. Councilman?
So we're all familiar with the size of the building. What are your plans for entertainment?
Entertainment was going to be most likely for the summertime, once a week, probably on the weekend. Tops would be like a guitarist and a singer. That would be no immediate plans right now for the size, because the size of the building for interior entertainment is tough. But no, it would be, if everything goes the way we want it to, and we're able to have some food outside in the summer when the weather gets.
So obviously it wouldn't be full bands.
No, it would not be full band, even if it's outside. I'll do it. If we do a full band, I'll make sure I go through appropriate channels and maybe once a year.
Any question? Okay, we have a motion to close the public. hearing.
Motion to. Oh, no, we're gonna do the,
Well, we gotta close the public hearing, then we gotta approve the ordinance, because we can't award the license that we haven't created yet.
Who wants to speak?
yeah. you have to
Does
ask.
anyone from the public care to speak on this application?
Okay.
Now, can we have a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the order, I believe we should go and we should take up the ordinance one, which is this is the second reading, raising the number of BV licenses from 30 to 31. Any questions from the council?
Motion to raise the number to 31.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
aye.
Okay, so now we can vote on the BV license.
Solicitors.
Oh,
Tony standing.
Just a point of clarification. The application is not just for the interior of the restaurant. The prior owner did have exterior use, which is what they're asking for here.
Okay.
You see the site.
Mhm.
So this liquor license will cover the outdoor areas for the seating. I understand from the building official that they do have provisions for a barrier between parking and these areas where the alcohol is served. However, there's also a seating plan that's attached to that. That will ultimately be subject to the fire chief in making sure that there's the capacity is where it should be in this fire safety issues, as well as the building official. So the area is all set, but the ultimate number of seats will be determined by those two officials.
Motion to approve contingent on an inspection from the fire chief and any other official inspections that need to be done.
Second,
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay, next, then we have,
Motion to approve the victualling license.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
And then the entertainment license.
Oh, yeah, motion to approve the entertainment license.
Second,
Just one clarification on that. Chomp used to have, I guess they had some type of a major event with a tent and everything else. That requires a separate license. So the entertainment that you're gonna have is what you said. You'll have the acoustic guitar player there once a week during the summer. But if you have a larger event, that requires a separate license.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the entertainment license. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, best of luck to you.
See ya.
Good luck with the dirt.
Okay, next we have correspondence. Anybody want to pull anything for discussion? Okay, moving on to old business, OB1. This is discussion and action on cost analysis regarding the original design plans for the crosswalks at the beach. Our director has been chasing this down for about 6 months.
Still chasing it down. I spoke with the contractor today. He apologizes again. He thought he had everything he needed. He did not. Him and I talked about it at length. With it being such an in-depth project to get it to the actual ADA standards and to the original design. His advice for the time being was what we paid for originally, add 25% minimum to that cost, because it's basically starting from scratch. I just, with help of Herb and the clerk's office today at 4 o'clock, was running around grabbing all the old documents, going through it, and it was a pretty pricey project, but it was a longer project from Long Walk to Bridge, so it's to break it out into that section. I still got to do a little more research to kind of come up with a better cost estimate, but over a couple $100,000 was fair estimate.
Okay. Well, this was your item. Question?
Just the frustration. I guess, coming into the summer season, again, I'll make a recommendation then that we drill holes and we insert the rubber ones, if that'll pass the ADA somehow. With what's there now, there'll be speed bumps in the road.
And we can work on getting those cost estimates now for that.
Yeah, because like,
Prior to.
again, my frustration came into the fact that you're watching over an hour or more, taking them in, putting them out every day, they pile next to, it just isn't how I think it should be, because the speeding happens as soon as they're gone, and it's just an unfortunate situation. The cost is gonna probably outweigh our ability to make this feasible, but we can probably put those speed bumps in just by drilling some holes and keeping them there permanent for the summer.
Yeah, we can get the cost on those and what it would,
Yeah.
how much work it would entail to put it
That
in.
being said, Joe, with the rough, the guesstimate on the cost, would you like to see him proceed getting the solid numbers, or? I think it's gonna, yeah,
Probably not,
yeah.
unless, and I'll send this to our planner, unless putting together that and maybe possibly asking for a grant because of the safety aspects of the children and families in the beach. Maybe there's some federal money, maybe there's some state money. So I would hate to see this effort just thrown away. So if it could be compiled in a format that may be usable for that. Right, so.
Yeah, and I'll work with him. We'll get the number anyways, and I'll work with Herb and see what we can do with potentially looking at grants.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is new business. This is discussion and action regarding a license agreement with Etna Bridge for the temporary use of town property. We have the solicitor here and representatives from Etna Bridge.
Yes, we have Jackson Parmenter, who represents the Etna Bridge and Building Company here, and this gentleman I don't know.
My name is Andre Salvador. I'm project manager with the Etna Bridge.
So my suggestion here is a license agreement, which you have before you. You may ask why a license agreement instead of a lease. The reason I bring that up is because Jackson over here asked me that very same question. The plain fact of the matter is that the license agreement is a lesser legal interest in the property than a lease. And I think that's appropriate here. Basically, Etna is going to be working on the bike path project, which is a very worthy thing. They need a laydown area. That means that they will use it as a staging area. They'll put some equipment and material on the site and use that for the construction of it. To me, it's appropriate that it be a license agreement, which is before you. The rent would be $1,500 a month. The term of this license would go until 2026 unless they need it for more. The important thing from the solicitor's standpoint is that there are two provisions in there that say that the town at any time and for any reason can terminate the license. with giving 90 days notice to Aetna so they can move their stuff out. They understand that. Why is that? Well, there's currently litigation involved in that property. That's the first thing. And secondly, even with or without litigation, the town has plans for that. And it would be difficult, I think, for the town if, you're using it for this storage area essentially for this project, which is important. But the town has other plans for the property. While it's not being used, it's appropriate. I understand that and agrees with that. Now, Mr. Parmenter, I have several matters with him and I have over the years. And I think he likes nothing better than to make my life difficult. This afternoon, I got an email from Jackson.
Of that.
Okay.
So we don't need, and you can speak to this, we don't actually need that site for a home office trailer.
Okay.
That's at another site, so that's not an issue.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, easy, I mean.
Yeah. So, yeah, my recommendation is that this agreement be executed. I do think there are protections for the town in this. I do think it's worthy for the town. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Aetna will undertake a cleanup of the property. For this, there is a dollar amount in there that they will pay for themselves. If it exceeds that, for whatever the reason, it will be taken off their rent, which is $1,500 a month.
Can we have them remove that sign?
No. No, not until I'll discuss it afterwards. I just don't want to say that in public.
Now, are you all set with this, or do you want to do a final draft of this, or?
Nah, I'm fine.
Okay,
It's been just too many iterations.
so I guess what we're looking for, any questions from the council first?
No, but you clarified, that was my question. We walked until July of 26, but you already explained that we have the ability to go back.
Correct. And if that was the proposal, then I'd say no. I don't think you can do that because there's just too many moving parts to this.
Yeah, we do that going. Or more.
That would have been my question. You clarified that. Thank you.
Also, in terms of security, they're going to install a gate at their own cost and give us a key.
We're also gonna take down, here's some barbed wire, the one to be taken down.
Thank you.
So we're gonna take that down. We're gonna do some weeding, get out there. There's, I guess, some weeds and maybe some other stuff that needs to be moved.
You could clean
That's.
both sides of the fence. Would be
Right.
great.
Yep.
And you don't mind leaving the walk out there around there at the end of the month?
I haven't heard that that's an issue.
I put it up the other day.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that.
Did you get a permit?
It's covered under the, event umbrella.
Oh, okay.
Council immunity.
Okay, so we need a motion,
Second.
motion and a second to approve the license agreement for the temporary use of town property. All in favor? Aye. Good, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, fellas.
Okay, next we have the town manager. Discussion and action regarding the Affordable Connectivity Program. Kate?
Been talking about this for years.
So this is just an item regarding, we've talked a lot about this affordable connectivity program through Rhode Island Commerce. This is the program where income qualified individuals get a pretty steep discount on their broadband connections. That's a federal program. And this outreach program through Rhode Island Commerce is an effort to make sure the word gets out and to help people actually apply for the assistance in real time so that they can take advantage of this program, because there's been a very slow uptake. A lot of people who are eligible for the program haven't yet taken advantage of it. So fortunately, we're able to partner with the HES, the Health Equity Zone, who's done a wonderful job reaching out to the community. They're hosting programs with the Senior Center to help the seniors get enrolled. They're doing outreach in other parts of the community. So this is a request for the council to endorse the program and endorse the town's participation in the program. Funding is through Rhode Island Commerce. We need to file some paperwork with Commerce, but we're very confident that we'll receive that funding. And there'll be no cost to the town. This will be all funded through this grant from Rhode Island Commerce, which is ultimately federal money. The town's cost would just be staff time.
Okay.
So asking for the council's endorsement.
Any question?
I noticed that it's a $30 a month subsidy. How long does the funding last? I was kind of looking through it, I didn't really see it. The end date on that.
I am not sure. Herb, do you happen to know what the end date is on that? The town planner, Herb Durfee, has been very helpful in this effort.
Herb Durfee, town planner. I believe that it lasts for the intent,
The funding is for our part of the outreach is through 2024, but we could, if.
yeah, I don't have the right, I'm thinking of a different grant where it runs for the life of, for like 5 years, but when I don't have a answer to that particular question, I'll have to research that.
Yeah, I just wondered if it's gonna get picked up again. Until see then, but then people get used to the subsidy and then it's like, okay, now what? No. Be interesting to see if we can figure out if there'd be a continuation or a possibility of that.
Will do.
So it looks from, everybody's best friend Google, that it's currently funded through 2024, and it requires reauthorization through Congress to extend it. So,
Well, I guess we'll take it, but that's not a long time.
right.
Any other questions? And we have a motion to approve the acceptance of the Affordable Connectivity Program. We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, next we have Finance Director. We did get our revenues and expenditures.
Still keep the lights on for a little while.
Keep the lights on. Next we have Tax Assessor. Looks like we have an abatement and some additions.
Yeah, just normal kind of housekeeping items only. If you have questions regarding, there's just two.
Any questions from the council?
The abatement of $236.32.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the addition of the tax roll of $1,849.51.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. I do like when the additions are more than the abatements.
Not always in my control.
Okay, next we are moving along to Planning and Community Development. Herb? Discussion and action, approval of Department of Housing application for Pro Housing Grant Program.
Essentially just making the council and the manager aware of a letter of support that we're putting to the Rhode Island Department of Housing. They themselves are making application for some HUD money that's through a new program called Pathways to Removing Obstacles Grant Program, or Pro Housing. Essentially, what they're trying to do is to build upon some of the laws that were enacted that will come into effect this coming January with regard to the provision of additional low and moderate income housing throughout the state. They are basically applying for $10 million, broken up in a couple different ways, but the idea is to try to get at some ways to help some of those laws to be implemented, such as trying to target infrastructure, some natural hazard related stuff, some gap funding, both trying to work on both the municipal side as well as the developer side. They specifically, this program targets disadvantaged communities. So they are looking to Washington and Bristol counties in Rhode Island specifically as part of their application. So obviously Warren falls in Bristol County. I attended a public hearing that they had today to indicate that it looked like we were doing a letter of support. And so I'm just here to basically let you know that. And if there's anything that comes from that, or as the application is formally fine-tuned and put out there, I can get you a copy.
What exactly is a natural hazard?
Basically, what they're trying to do is envision some of the climate resiliency. So if you take Market to Medicom as a, for instance, we're picking up some people and putting them somewhere else. I say that loosely, but to basically try to help offset some of the costs of those moving from that standpoint. So from a climate area that's going to be inundated with water in the future, trying to help get them into a different location, whether that's, so for instance, the Metacom area, if they needed infrastructure or something related to that climate change situation, that they're trying to offset some of those costs as well.
Thank you.
Now it says discussion and action. Do you need any action from us at this point or?
Basically, it would be helpful if you would agree to allow me to send or allow the town manager to send a letter of support.
I think the motion should be to authorize
Okay,
sending them a letter of support.
all right.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Next on the agenda, we have the police chief, mutual aid agreement between the town of Barrington, Bristol and Warren.
Chief Borges asked me to review this, and I'd just like to make some comments before he discusses why he is asking you to approve this. This mutual aid agreement springs from legislation that was recently passed 4542-2. It authorizes non-emergency mutual aid agreements. And as Council Vice President Kalenda knows, that was a mutual aid, used to be limited to mutual aid of adjacent communities. This allows for more communities to get together. For instance, in Bristol County, Barrington, Warren, Bristol on this. And I've reviewed the agreement and it conforms to the new state law. There are advantages for law enforcement generally and particularly to the town of Warren. Chief Borges will explain to you why he is in favor of this. It has to do not only with general law enforcement in non-emergency situations, but it also encompasses other things like the private detail, traffic details and things of that nature. So there's some advantages to the town of Warren in that way. I'll let him answer any questions you might have.
Good evening. So we do have, as you know, traffic details in town of Warren. There are certain traffic details that required, and I would like to see a full-time officer with arrest powers. And sometimes I can't get that. Under the contract, I am not allowed to order my officers back for traffic details. So we've been lucky. Sometimes we make an extra phone call. Sometimes I get a retired police officer who has some police experience to do that. With this here, we would be able to put it out. It would be offered to us first, and whatever is not filled, we would send it to an email called the hub to the Bristol Police and the Barrington Police to see if those officers would be interested in taking that detail. Not only those details, but also regular traffic details. So if I can't fill my details and we send it out, let's say Bristol takes a detail, we would give them the traffic invoice to them. So it would not affect anything with us. We don't have to do an invoice.
There's no budgeting.
There's no, yes. So if we go to Bristol, they would give us their detail and then we would process the invoice at our rates with our guidelines.
Questions? Okay.
Other communities are doing this?
Yes.
This is non-emergency.
No, this would be like on a regular basis.
Is there something that covers emergency mutual agreements? Or?
We do. That was the other one that the solicitor spoke about where they do request like Providence, Pawtucket, Cranston. If they request us, we would
That's
respond.
already in place.
That's already in place.
So this would be like, well, it didn't happen this year, but like say for the Quahog Festival, if you needed a couple officers there and you couldn't get ours, you'd be able to pull them from Bristol. Or
We would post it and then they would be able to bid on it and or Bristol or Barrington, yes.
Any questions from the council?
No, I have not. I read the agreement. It's pretty straightforward.
Could we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the mutual aid agreement. All in favor?
Aye.
Only one thing left.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to
This
adjourn.
has got to be a record.
We have a second. We have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Wow.